OK， 係咪差唔多啦？咁多位？哦，好。係咪 OK 啦？各位記者朋友、攝影師 ，OK 好，唔該晒阿 George 同 Eno 先。咁啊，歡迎各位記者咧，今日出席咧就係金融學院轄下啦香港貨幣及金融研究中心嘅新聞發布會。咁我哋咧即將會發表咧就係有關於推動香港家族辦公室生態圈發展嘅報告嘅。先介紹下台上嘅兩位講者啦。咁包括咧就係有金融學院行政總裁兼研究中心嘅執行董事阿馮一諾先生 Eno。另外咧就係研究中心嘅主管韋仲儀先生阿 George 嘅。我先將以下時間咧交俾 Eno。
多謝各位出席我哋今日嘅簡報會。今次嘅研究報告咧係由金融學院旗下嘅香港貨幣及金融研究中心 HKIMR 發表嘅。近年嚟，政府積極吸引家族辦公室嚟港發展業務，香港家辦嘅數目持續增長，充分顯示喺政府同埋業界共同努力下，已經取得實質嘅成果。本報告係基於對業界嘅問卷調查同埋訪談，探討香港家辦行業最新發展嘅趨勢。以下落嚟，我會邀請我同事 George 簡單介紹下呢份報告嘅重點，之後我會用廣東話做個簡單嘅 recap。
Okay. Thanks, Enoch. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for this media event related to the publication of our latest report. As Enoch mentioned, today we publish a report on family offices. So before I discuss the key results of our report, allow me to spend a few words to introduce who we are and our mission to the ones of you that may not be familiar with our operations. So the Hong Kong Institute for Monetary and Financial Research has been established by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority in 1999 to carry out in-depth research on monetary and financial stability relevant to Hong Kong and the region. Since 2019, with the establishment of the Hong Kong Academy of Finance, the HKIMR became the research arm of the Academy and expanded its remit to cover also research on topics that are relevant to market participants and regulators. On this latter stream of research, over the past 6 years, we published 17 reports on various themes, including but not limited to financial innovation and green and sustainable finance. So, our most recent report that we are publishing today is on the family office ecosystem in Hong Kong. So this new report provides a comprehensive analysis of Hong Kong family's office sector with a focus on emerging trends, including philanthropy and risk management. As it is customary in our reports, we also touch upon the role of local and international initiatives to support the growth of the family office sectors. And we provide also some considerations aimed at further enhancing the ecosystem in Hong Kong, so to solidify Hong Kong's status as a premier family office hub in Asia and beyond. First of all, I think it's important to remind ourselves why it is important to study the family office sector. In fact, family offices are increasingly central to the financial services industry as they provide affluent families with a wide range of solutions for complex financial needs related to investment growth, asset protection, and wealth preservation. However, the sector has been evolving over the years, and now the services address the increasing need to achieve sustainable results alongside with environmental social impact. A vibrant family office ecosystem benefits the broader economy through important externalities. First, by supporting job creation through the employment of suitable local talent. Second, it generates business opportunities for the local financial services industry via increased demand for financial services that they are outsourced to local service providers, and also to an increased demand for financial products, including risk management products, that in turn improve the depth and breadth of the local financial markets. Last but not least, another important externality is represented by the support to local social and sustainability initiatives that benefit the overall society at large. Regarding the last point, because of the growing awareness of social and environmental challenges among affluent families, family offices are increasingly more involved in private and social investment, or PSI in short. This type of investments encompasses a range of options, including philanthropic activities and impact investing, which differ in the way investors allocate their preferences between impact to environment and society and financial returns. Family offices consider this activity important as they allow an increasing alignment between the family office's operation and investments with the family values, ultimately fostering an increased sense of purpose among stakeholders. Risk management is also essential for family offices as it facilitates the achievement of their main goals. When robust risk management is in place, addressing both financial and non-financial risk associated with family offices' operations, family offices can better sustain impact initiatives because of their mitigation of atypical sector risks associated with private social investments. Therefore, both private social investments and risk management reinforce each other and together help family offices achieve their financial and societal goals. Against this backdrop, we have commissioned a survey and a set of interviews to Ernst & Young. The views of more than 100 family office sector stakeholders, including single and multiple family offices, ultra-high net worth individuals and financial institutions, were recorded. Additional 35 interviews were carried out within the same collaboration work, providing further insights. The first aspect I would like to cover relates to the preference of family offices for considering Hong Kong as a favorable investment destination. The results are unambiguous. 91% of the survey respondents mentioned that Hong Kong is their primary investment destination. This finding aligns with the evidence provided in other recent research published over the past few weeks. When we ask about the perceived advantages of Hong Kong as a main investment destination, the survey responses stated that in addition to deep capital markets, a favorable regulatory and legal environment, a competitive tax regime, a highly skilled professional service sector, and the strategic location between international markets and the Chinese mainland are major considerations. In terms of asset holdings, survey respondents mentioned that they are currently invested in conventional asset classes, including equities and fixed income securities. But their appetite is growing for alternative investments, including private markets and digital assets. Looking at the current functions and future engagements of family offices, survey respondents highlighted the family office main functions are within traditional spectrum of investment and asset management, followed by tax and regulatory compliance and risk management. When looking at the growth of key areas of interest, such as private and social investment and risk management, we see that philanthropy and impact investing are expected to grow meaningfully over the next 3 years, reaching levels that align with global trends. The results are even stronger if you look at risk management products and services, where Hong Kong already exhibits a leading role compared to other jurisdictions and is expected to solidify this position even further over the next 3 years. We also dig deeper on the motivations behind the future engagements mentioned previously. Some common themes arise from the survey. For private and social investments, families and affluent individuals are increasingly more aware of the social responsibility of their activities. Impact investing indeed provides them with a dual value proposition that allows them to pursue environmental and social impact while also delivering financial returns. Hence, there is more appetite for this going forward. As for philanthropic activities, governmental support, and the continuing development of the philanthropic ecosystem in Hong Kong also provided further encouragement to family offices to get involved and participate in meaningful initiatives. On the risk management side, the key motivator relates to the preservation of wealth, and this aligns well with the evidence that Hong Kong is the preferred hub for risk management products and services. Looking at the details of engagement in private and social investments, our study shows that family offices are mostly involved in Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland, but also considered activity in the overall Asia-Pacific region and also North America. The priority areas of engagement are education, healthcare, and green and sustainability. Family offices' goals are reached by a mix of investment in a wide range of financial instruments and by the support of meaningful philanthropic projects through various activities, including network and expertise and knowledge sharing. When it comes to talent development and acquisition, 83% of the survey respondents expressed a positive view regarding the supply of suitable talent in Hong Kong to meet daily operations. However, some challenges remain, including the limited visibility for the sector, which lead to the difficulty in generating sufficient traction for aspiring talent, unclear career progression for talent in employment, a limited supply of candidates with specific and perhaps more niche skills and expertise. Let me conclude by discussing the role played by policy initiatives. In fact, in our study, we have reviewed the experiences put in place locally and internationally in order to understand the initiatives aimed at developing and enhancing the family office ecosystem across jurisdictions. Across all initiatives, three macro themes come up prominently. First, the setting of suitable tax incentives is a clear driver of competitiveness across different jurisdictions to attract and maintain family offices. The second theme focuses on immigration incentives, linking residency status with designated investment into a given jurisdiction. Third, an additional set of family office-specific incentives that depends on the strengths of individual jurisdictions. This can comprise, for example, support for green and sustainable finance initiatives, philanthropic ecosystem enhanced by suitable tax incentives, and project matching platform. In Hong Kong, the initiatives pursued by the government and financial regulators follow roughly the same themes. It is important to note the continued outreach and support work provided by Family Office Hong Kong, a dedicated team within Invest Hong Kong, the investment promotion agency of the SAR government, aimed at engaging and supporting prospective families' offices to setting based to Hong Kong. They connect these entities with the vast and diverse universe of products and service providers in Hong Kong to meet the family office's ongoing needs. When on site, the SFC dedicated communication channels for family offices provided clarity regarding the regulatory requirements and their compliance. We mentioned previously the importance of networking and knowledge sharing. On this respect, two initiatives are worthwhile mentioning. The Wealth for Good Summit, organized by the Financial Services and Treasury Bureau and Invest Hong Kong, and hosted by the SAR government to provide a platform for family offices to work together to drive innovation, philanthropy, and generate positive impact. And also the Legacy Summit, focusing on building enduring legacies, organized by the Hong Kong Academy for Wealth Legacy. So let me conclude my presentation by offering some considerations on how to further develop and enhance the family offices ecosystem in Hong Kong based on the views of market participants and the international experiences. First of all, our study highlights that survey respondents see Hong Kong as an attractive hub for family office activities due to its several unique advantages. Sharpening such advantages, for example, by leveraging the connection to the Greater Bay Area and expanding the set of available alternative investment, including digital assets, is important to consolidate Hong Kong's role as a leading family office hub in Asia and beyond. Second, advancing the development of the private social investment ecosystem by leveraging, for example, private-public partnerships for social and environmental projects, is important to equip family offices with an end-to-end solution that can address investor needs while generating positive impact. Third, facilitating the capacity building of talent within family office-specific needs with the development of a standardized career framework with the help of all stakeholders in the ecosystem, including universities. And knowledge-sharing opportunities can also support the growth of the sector and its further development. Last, cultivating a strong and well-connected network of family offices can help facilitating information sharing and provide support along various dimensions, including tailored leadership programs for family members and family offices executives, especially when the collective efforts are key to lead to impact in meaningful areas for the society and the environment. I stop here. Thank you very much for listening, and please feel free to download the report for more information and details by using this QR code.
Okay, thank you, Giorgio. 以下落嚟，我會用廣東話作個簡單嘅總結。今次嘅報告主要探討香港家族辦公室行業最新嘅發展趨勢。調查顯示，高達90%嘅受訪者表示已經投資本港嘅市場，信心主要源自於香港嘅完善嘅監管架構、資本自由流動、成熟嘅金融市場以及具競爭力嘅稅制。調查結果亦都進一步指出，受訪嘅家辦有意喺未來幾年深化佢哋嘅慈善事業同埋影響力投資 （impact investing） 嘅佈局。同時，家族辦公室對風險管理產品同埋服務嘅需求將持續上升。總括而言，受訪者認為香港憑藉自身嘅獨特優勢，可以充分受惠於以上嘅發展趨勢，為家族辦公室嘅業務發展提供一個穩健、完善、可靠嘅平台。關鍵係如何鼓勵各界進一步協助家族辦公室實現可觀嘅財務回報之餘，有效管理風險，兼顧環境同埋社會效益，以及加強培育相關嘅專業人才。
好，唔該晒 Eno，thanks Giorgio 嘅。咁以下落嚟嘅時間咧，就輪到問答環節啦。咁就歡迎各位咧，就住今日報告嘅內容咧，就提出你哋嘅問題嘅。咁我哋同時咧會遞咪俾你哋啦。咁喺你哋發問之前咧，先講出咧你哋嘅姓名啦，同埋係所屬嘅機構嘅。好，前面呢一位。
Hi, I'm Julie from South China Morning Post, and I have 3 questions. First, could you please share your outlook on how this year's booming IPO market might impact Hong Kong's family office sector? And second question is, by regions, where are the most of the investors who are planning to set up family offices in Hong Kong coming from? And the third is, could you please provide more details on family office investors' appetite in digital assets? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So there are 3 questions. I'll address the first one first, which is the IPO one. The second one is regional source. I'll say a few words, and then maybe Giorgio, you can supplement. And the third one on digital asset, we haven't actually covered all that much on digital asset, but probably there are some data from the survey that Giorgio can follow up with. Firstly, on the IPO market in general, as you have noticed in the past couple of years, the IPO issuances have actually been very active. That is also a reflection of the foreign investors and issuers' trust on the Hong Kong financial and IPO platform, considering a very complex macro and external environment. So it is actually a very good reflection of both the confidence and also the resilience of our financial market. With regards to its relations to the family offices, obviously they do follow investment opportunities very closely, and with the very strong IPO pipeline, that has actually driven a lot of business and also investment opportunities for the family offices to grow their footprint and also the investment exposures in Hong Kong, and that is actually a very supportive part of the growth of the family office area. Now, on the second question, which is on the regional if I understand you correctly, where do the family offices essentially come from? Now, we haven't actually covered that part in our report in very detail, but according to the survey composition of our respondents, majority of them are actually based, a large majority of them are based in Hong Kong. They have the source of wealth mostly from Hong Kong, but also from mainland China and also across the region as well. Maybe Giorgio can supplement on that part first before I move on to the digital part.
Yeah. I think what Enoch said is already quite precise. What we actually have in the survey is indicating that there is a right mix. The majority is actually coming from Hong Kong, Chinese mainland, but there is also a non-negligible amount coming from other regions. Obviously, we can't differentiate precisely all the individual jurisdictions, but nevertheless, the fact that Hong Kong is an international financial center has a possibility of attracting a large and diverse number of high net worth individuals and the families. So maybe Enoch wanted to continue on digital asset first.
Sure. Very quickly, because as the digital asset market has actually been growing, but also at a very early stage. So I believe many of the long-term investors, including family office investors, they are still monitoring the situation. But of course, as the market continues to grow, it is something of an area that they plan to increase. And in fact, in the report, there is some data which, Giorgio, you can reference.
Yes. Yeah, on digital asset, thank you very much for asking that question, because in the report, we have an indication of a sort of expression of interest of the survey respondents about their preferred asset classes going forward, especially over the next 3 years. And apparently, 28% of the respondents are indicating that they will be more willing to invest in digital assets. So it's not a negligible amount, and even if the investment at this stage is not big, but I think we're expecting this amount to be particularly relevant going forward.
下一條問題啊，先係文匯報，跟住就 Nikkei 嘅。
你好啊，文匯報嘅。咁就想問下咧，即係最近嗰個中東嘅戰爭爆發咧，你哋有冇留意到話多咗一啲中東嘅家辦咧，想轉移資金，甚至話係想嚟搬遷嚟香港咁啊？唔該。
OK， 多謝你嘅問題。其實國際或者外圍環境嘅複雜咧係日益增加緊嘅，而無論係宏觀或者市場嘅風險亦好，或者係地緣政治嘅風險亦都好咧，都會為家族辦公室帶嚟額外嘅挑戰同埋不確定性。咁但係亦都喺我哋嘅報告入邊亦都見到咧，唔同嘅家族辦公室佢哋開始對風險管理方面嘅功能咧，佢哋係開始加強緊嘅，亦都對一啲風險管理相關嘅產品或者服務咧嘅需求亦都持續上升。咁呢方面咧，亦都唔係一兩個嘅事件嚟到去驅使佢哋去咁做，亦都歷年來亦都見到佢哋一直加強緊。喺我哋嘅調查入邊，亦都見到佢哋係一直繼續去加強風險管理方面，無論係產品服務或者係監察方面嘅諮詢嘅服務。咁香港作為國際金融中心啦，我哋無論係有一個非常之清晰嘅監管架構，我哋一個非常之具競爭力嘅稅制，資本自由流動，非常成熟嘅資本市場，亦都好緊要嘅就係香港我哋咁多年嚟維持金融穩定嘅往績咧，亦都為家族辦公室喺香港設立業務咧係打咗一個好強嘅強心針。咁所以喺呢方面亦都見到無論係喺香港我哋嘅市場嘅發展，又或者係無論將來我哋見到政府嘅措施，上個禮拜亦都見到政府喺一啲稅務嘅優惠嘅措施上面有啲放寬啦。咁香港亦都喺我哋嘅報告嘅調查亦都反映到咧，受訪者亦都講到就係政府喺佢唔同嘅支援，包括係投資推廣署轄下 直至係幫助家族辦公室發展香港業務方面咧，吸引家族辦公室嚟香港發展咧，都一直係有一個好強嘅支援，亦都幫助香港又可以嚟到去利用香港嘅平台。咁亦都提到啦，亦都香港喺無論係安排金融市場、資本市場項目可投資嘅項目方面咧，亦都為到投資者可以提供一個穩健、完善同埋一個可靠嘅平台去發展佢哋家族辦公室嘅業務。
Nikkei.
So a question about family office, because in your report you said so family offices treat Hong Kong as a gateway into investing in mainland China. So what sort of investment products related to mainland China appeal to them the most? And also, is dim sum bond something that attract them as well? Thanks.
I'll just maybe make a more macro big picture view first, and then there are some useful statistics which Giorgio can reference. With regards to their investment, so they do have certain exposure. Maybe there is a number, I think about 60-something% or so. Okay, but anyway, there is a sizable amount of the share of investment that they are allocated to the mainland market. It is something that they have been watching very closely. With regards to dim sum bond market, of course, it is an area that in Hong Kong, while the issuance have been picking up very strongly. So it is a very symbiotic phenomenon, because you do have the issuance seeing the prospects of influx of investors, not only family offices, but also in general investors who are seeing a very positive prospects of the dim sum bond issuances. And at the same time, because of that, that also creates a very positive synergies for issuers to tap into the Hong Kong market to issue dim sum bonds.
下一條問題，RTHK 嘅。
都係想即係 follow up 翻即係中東嗰方面啦。即係雖然話唔會就住即係一啲事件，可能就睇到一啲即係點樣嘅趨勢咁，但係因為即係特區政府都近年都好加強同中東嗰個嘅聯繫啦。有冇話其實可能可以分享一啲 figure 係近年其實即係當地一啲家辦嚟香港嘅一啲趨勢，可唔可以更仔細咁樣講一講啦？另外都想問下咧，你哋都話希望吸引佢哋咧，即係以香港為家，即係鞏固啲強化優勢啦。可唔可以展述下其實即係香港其實應該做啲乜嘢去即係吸引佢哋？唔該。
好，就住中東具體嘅數據就冇喺我哋今次嘅調查嘅範圍入邊嘅。咁但係你都提到啦，其實特區政府或者有關當局咧，近年嚟亦都積極去 reach out 去唔同中東嘅市場啦，亦都見到有啲成效，亦都見到無論係特區政府亦都有引用過唔同嘅數據，見到香港家族嘅辦公室亦都超過3300間，呢個係政府佢引用佢哋德勤最近嘅一個顧問嘅報告。咁呢方面亦都見到其實家族辦公室佢要考慮佢嘅業務嘅擴張或者發展呢，係一個中長線嘅一個考慮嚟嘅。咁呢方面香港只要我哋做好我哋自己嘅優勢，完善我哋嘅生態圈，我哋嘅培育，我哋積極培育我哋嘅人才。頭先亦都提到我哋報告見到咧，家族辦公室除咗喺佢哋嘅投資嘅活動方面有需要增加咧之外咧，其實佢哋就住一啲影響力投資或者慈善嘅業務，佢哋嘅需求咧一直不斷增加，未來幾年亦都會繼續增加。咁呢方面亦都為業界提供咗一個好好嘅機遇，一方面嚟到幫助家族辦公室去得到佢哋可觀、佢哋所需嘅投資回報之餘咧，亦都可以回饋社會，推動社會持續發展。
下一位，21世紀先。
你好，21世紀經濟報道的記者，然後也是想問一下關於中東方面的問題。蔡爺在這個之前的會議上有提到，有這個伊朗的資本在當地出現這個之後轉向香港，然後想請問一下，你們有沒有觀察到一些相關的案例呢？然後能不能分享一下？謝謝。
謝謝您的問題。 很抱歉，因为这一方面不在我们调查的范围内。但是我也想重新呢，就是再强调一个很重要的一点，就是无论是地缘政治或是宏观的风险，都是家族办公室非常关注的一个议题。在我们调查里面也看到，对风险管理方面的功能呢，家办过去几年一直在加强。然后他们对风险管理相关的产品以及服务呢的需求一直在增加。那香港作为国际金融中心，我们有着非常完善的监管的环境，非常具竞争力的税制，还有一个非常自由流动的资本市场，非常成熟的资本市场。这方面呢，再加上香港在过去几年在维持过去这么多年维持金融稳定。货币稳定也是给了国际的家族办公室一个很强的一个信心，来利用香港的这么一个可靠、这么一个稳健、完善的金融平台，發展他們家辦的業務。
經濟日報。
你好，經濟日報嘅就兩個問題啦，因為頭先都提到，即係其實家辦嗰度即係對嗰個impact investment 嗰度嗰個趨勢都個需求越嚟越勁啦。但係其實佢哋有冇喺個調查度同翻你哋講，可能而家個市場個 product 上邊可能有一啲需要再完善嘅部分咧？咁呢個佢哋有冇一啲嘅訴求或者建議俾到你哋，即係去做一個提倡咧？呢個第一個問題。第二個問題就係其實睇到即係 charity 嗰度都嗰個需求都好勁嘅。咁但係而家我哋香港市場嗰個人才方面係咪有足夠嘅咧？咁你哋局方會唔會即係可能有一啲培訓活動或者一啲嗰啲資助或者什麼支援嘅措施俾翻市場？唔該。
非常多謝你嘅問題。第一 on impact investing 同埋 philanthropy 啦嚇，咁喺我哋嘅調查入邊，亦都清楚見到佢哋喺未來幾年咧係更加多嘅受訪嘅家辦會參與 impact investing 同埋係慈善業務方面嘅。咁至於佢哋所需要嘅項目咧，其實最主要就係佢哋希望有一個好多志同道合嘅家辦嚟到幫助佢哋去尋找項目，無論係 for 佢哋嘅投資或者係 for 佢哋嘅慈善嘅捐贈。而近年嚟咧，亦都有一個新嘅趨勢喺香港，我哋見到作為國際金融中心，我哋吸引咗不同種類、不同風險胃納嘅投資者嚟到香港。咁呢方面咧，亦都推動到產品同埋項目嘅種類嘅多元化，尤其是一啲多邊嘅發展銀行，佢哋嚟香港，佢哋其實可以帶住好多呢方面推動社會發展嘅項目嚟到俾家族辦公室或者相關嘅投資者、有興趣嘅投資者去投資呢啲嘅項目。而亦都係我哋個報告入邊，亦都特登提到一個近年嚟比較多人講或者比較 popular 嘅一個趨勢咧，就係所謂嘅 blended finance， 就係混合融資嘅意思。其實只不過係將一啲項目，可能一啲基建嘅項目，佢哋對社會係有幫助嘅，或者社會有需要推動可持續發展或者環保嘅。咁但係可能喺風險上邊咧，其實大家啲投資者未必有興趣或者未必可以承受到。咁所以好多多邊嘅發展銀行，其實佢哋就有一啲產品上嘅設計，喺結構上、融資上嘅設計，幫助佢哋去將佢哋嘅風險去分層，令到唔同嘅投資者可以就住佢哋唔同嘅回報嘅胃納嚟到去幫助佢哋去揾到分層，咁大家合埋一齊去融資而產生一種嘅協同效應。咁香港近年來喺呢方面嘅趨勢咧，我哋已經開始見到有多啲嘅投資者對呢方面有興趣，尤其是喺香港我哋積極推動緊 ESG 或者係環保方面嘅投資，亦都係或者綠色金融、可持續金融方面嘅推進。再加上喺亞洲，其實我哋對呢個環境保護或者係氣候變化方面嘅需求，佢亦都係一直持續增加緊。咁所以呢方面嘅所謂嘅融資 嘅需求咧，亦都推動到無論係家族辦公室或者一啲比較長線嘅投資者，佢哋喺尋找項目方面能夠更加多嘅選擇。而香港作為國際金融中心，無論喺專業服務，無論喺人才方面都豐富嘅。咁最後我再答你簡單關於人才方面，喺我哋嘅調查亦都見到咧，其實超過80%嘅受訪者佢哋都覺得香港作為國際金融中心，我哋嘅平台人才係足夠嚟到去支撐家族辦公室喺香港嘅發展嘅。咁當然亦都有更加多可以改善嘅地方。咁亦都喺近年來，因為政府積極去推動家族辦公室嘅行業業務嘅發展咧，亦都好明顯見到行業嘅協會啊，或者一啲大學嘅機構都開始係辦一啲課程。無論係收費，無論係業界自己推動嘅培訓嘅課程，咁我哋過往嘅報告，無論係培育人才嘅報告，我哋嘅研究報告亦都發現咧，香港嘅金融專業人才喺自我技能提升方面咧，亦都係比其他嘅金融中心係更加積極嘅。咁呢方面亦都俾到家族辦公室喺香港發展業務有更加多嘅信心。
下一位商報 Alex。
商報 Alex 兩個問題，首先再跟進翻即係中東嗰個局勢啦。其實見到即係近日嗰個金融市場或者尤其是啲商品價格都非常之波動。咁其實即係你哋都話報告裏邊都話，其實見到即係未來一段時間可能家族辦公室佢哋會即係傾向咧去即係增持一啲嘅風險嘅資產。其實近日嘅事件咧有冇話影響到即係嗰個部分會唔會因為近日嘅事件會即係放慢咗去增持一啲嘅風險資產㗎嘛？同埋如果增持風險資產嘅話，佢哋會傾向係即係會係單一嘅類別，定抑或係多元嘅多元分散嘅風險資產啦。第一呢個問題，第二就係咧都講到話你哋都即係家族辦公室都傾向即係去進行多啲叫做 impact investing 啦，即係慈善項目咁樣。咁其實見到即係香港你哋覺得喺香港政府可能響即係一啲嘅社福機構、慈善團體裏邊，即係同呢啲家族辦公室嘅對接嘅情況，而家係點樣？咁同埋若果係呢啲加強雙方面喺個聯繫方面，你哋會俾啲咩嘅建議佢哋咧？唔該。
好，第一個問題關於中東，其實我頭先都提咗，不過我可以再簡單重複。其實喺我哋嘅報告入邊，你都見到受訪嘅家族辦公室咧，近年嚟已經喺度積極嘅去增加佢哋對風險管理相關嘅產品同埋業務。咁亦都見到未來幾年佢哋亦都同我哋喺調查上邊亦都反映到佢哋會繼續去增加嘅，無論係對投資風險或者投資波動、市場波動方面嘅相關產品亦好啊，或者係對佢哋業務本身營運方面嘅保險嘅產品咧，其實見到呢個需求喺未來幾年透過我哋嘅調查亦都反映到佢哋係繼續增加緊嘅。咁香港作為國際金融中心，我哋有非常之完善嘅專業服務同埋產品設計嘅人才，亦都幫助到、輔助到呢啲家族辦公室佢哋去管理佢哋嘅風險。至於投資方面，咁每個家族辦公室其實佢哋嘅風險嘅胃納或者佢哋追求嘅回報都唔同，咁亦都好難一概而論。咁但係最主要就係佢哋除咗去追求佢哋嘅項目、追求佢哋嘅回報之餘咧，佢哋都好好管理風險。而香港亦都喺呢方面咧，俾到佢哋一個好全面嘅產品同埋服務嘅選擇。關於 impact investing 同埋慈善事務方面啦，咁我哋嘅報告亦都提到咧，未來幾年咧，香港嘅家族辦公室佢哋嘅參與程度咧，都繼續會持續上升，亦都係同全球喺呢方面嘅領先嘅家辦嘅平台嘅城市，亦都見到嗰個步伐咧係一致嘅。 咁呢方面亦都突顯到香港喺呢方面嘅優勢，包括係人才，包括係項目方面。咁而頭先你提到關於政府或者係業界方面嘅互動咧，其實我哋喺調查入邊亦都留意到咧，其實佢哋家族辦公室希望係喺 impact investing 或者係 philanthropy 方面咧，佢哋最需要嘅咧，其實係一個網絡效應 network effect， 就係佢哋揾到一啲志同道合嘅投資者或者係慈善捐款方面嘅機構嚟到幫助佢哋去尋找項目，亦都係某程度上亦都幫助佢哋去觀察、做盡職搜查 due diligence， 盡職審查 due diligence， 去幫助佢哋去喺兼顧到一個可觀嘅投資回報之餘咧，亦都兼顧到社會同埋環境嘅效益。咁呢方面亦都係政府積極推動緊，包括一啲稅務嘅優惠啦。咁亦都見到慈善機構咧喺近年嚟亦都積極嘅去同唔同嘅金融機構去積極互動，去幫助推動社會持續發展嘅。
好，請問仲有冇其他問題先？SMP 頭先問我哋睇下有冇其他記者朋友仲有問題？OK，RTHK， 咁最後一條就留翻俾 SMP 嘅 Julie。
Thank you. So just also following up on the Middle Eastern issues, maybe can you also use English to tell us about how is a conflict in the Middle East posing an impact to the family office industry development here? And also, have you observed more, for example, FOs from the Middle East or elsewhere in India or Turkey, for example, showing interest to relocating to Hong Kong? And also regarding the budget measures, earlier Financial Secretary also outlined plans to develop Hong Kong into an international gold trading center. And he also proposed measures, for example, several tax incentives to further appeal to the family offices as well, including expanding the tax waivers to cover more assets, including gold and some other commodities as well. So how will those measures also boost the sector's growth? Thank you.
On the Middle Eastern question, maybe I'll just quickly mention that many of the family offices, as they consider where they would operate and expand, be it investment scope or their business footprint, very much is a medium to long-term decision. Yes, there is probably one or two incidents that might affect their decisions, but overall they need to look at the platform. And as I mentioned, the most important thing for them in a very complex external environment is risk management. And we are seeing from our survey that many of the surveyed family offices are increasing their demands and capabilities for risk management, be it market risk, be it investment risk, or the operational side of things. So we are seeing a general trend, as the government has mentioned and quoted in the recent survey by the Invest Hong Kong, that the number of family offices have been gradually increasing, and the government is putting in extra efforts to continue to promote the sector, and they are expecting the general number of family offices to increase. And it is, according to many discussions, obviously, as they mentioned, they do welcome family offices from across the world, and we do have a very clear and transparent regulatory framework that would provide ecosystem for family offices to come and make use of a very strong, very comprehensive, and very dependable platform in developing their family office businesses. Your second question, if I got correctly, is mainly on the gold, the measures in supporting the gold market. Now, we haven't actually covered that in our report, but obviously, as an asset class, it is providing an extra options for family offices to, as they continue to expand their businesses in Hong Kong, it will provide an extra investment option for them to grow their footprint in Hong Kong.
咁最後 SCMP。
Could you please make some examples, like what kind of products, risk management products that they are favoring to invest amid the Middle East tension? Thank you.
Sorry, maybe I'll make a more generic reference to the, okay, so as you can see, maybe Giorgio, you can mention, yeah, that was the slide. No, the risk products. Sorry, you're talking, no, the risk products. Yes, okay. So my understanding of your question is what sort of products are they making use of to help to manage their risks? So, so these are the risks that we learned from our survey results as to what kind of financial risks and non-financial risks they do look at. So when it comes to market volatility, there are certain hedging and derivative instruments that will allow the family offices or investors in general to mitigate the market volatility, the risks and the implications of market volatilities on their portfolios. Likewise, on the non-financial side or the operational side, some of the insurance products that can help them in mitigating some of the, be it cybersecurity or many other operational risk side. Now, on the legal and compliance risk, obviously, there is a very evolving regulatory standards on many of the issues globally. Hong Kong as an international financial center, obviously our regulatory standards are in line with global standards, and our regulators are actively participating in many of the standard setting discussions internationally, and that would also help many of the regulators in setting regulatory standards in Hong Kong, and therefore for the purpose of investors, including family offices, it will provide them with a very clear and transparent regulatory platform for them to grow their businesses in Hong Kong. And more importantly, we do have a very comprehensive professional services and consultancy ecosystem, including talents, that would also help family offices and investors to make use of our platform to grow their footprint and investment in Hong Kong.
Okay, 好，咁今日唔該晒咁多位記者朋友啦，亦都多謝晒 Giorgio，都多謝晒 Eno，唔該晒。